Renaissance man versus jack of all trades, master of none, full-time artist. These are just keywords I had written that were prompts for this video. I don't know what the title is going to be yet, but I've just been thinking career-wise again, with where things are at for me, what I want in life, what I really enjoy doing. I've been challenged by my counselor to think more about my priorities and what I value, what I really value, and what I want to change because of my values and move towards my values. And I've just come across this so much in the past 5 years, more so than before then, when I was like actually in university working on my BFA, very art focused. I value a certain freedom to express myself frequently and deeply. And for me, that's through art making, mostly. This is part of it, but this is a lot for me to externally process things. But through art making, I get to express myself on a deeper level and in various different media. And I really value that, but I don't have the time to explore that as much as I would like. I do not want to be a jack of all trades, master of none, because that's the full phrase of it, a jack of all trades. And we're going to differentiate that from a Renaissance man. It's going to sound pretentious. That's okay. I would like to be a Renaissance man. I believe I have the skills, knowledge, desire to be a Renaissance man, and I'll tell you why and what that is. A jack of all trades, basically, that term, jack of all trades, and if we finish it, jack of all trades, master of none, it implies you can do a bunch of things pretty okay. A lot of people think of like kind of handyman type things of like, oh, I can fix a light bulb, I can fix this, I can do that, and I can do whatever, I can figure it out, whatever. But you're not a master of any one discipline. It's not like you were a carpenter. You could probably do a couple carpentry-related things, or you're not an auto mechanic, but you could probably do, like, I can install my headlights. Is that okay? Like, I can change my tire, I can do that. That's pretty much it, other than put gas in my car and like refill my tires with air. Like car related things, I might be able to install my windshield wipers. I haven't tried in how long, not with this vehicle. I'm not a master of that area. There are some things that I think, yeah, it's good to be a jack of all trades in some areas, like being able to manage basic repairs in your home or your bike or your automobile. There's certain things, like I learned how to install a doorknob when I was a teenager, just because I wanted a lock on my door that I had to promptly take off because I was not allowed to have that. But there are just some things that I think are basic maintenance things that everyone should know, that I don't think you need to be a master of that field. I think that there's basic things, and then when that gets out of your scope, then you need to call a professional rather than trying to tackle it yourself. Or you become a professional, right? It doesn't mean you have to be documented as one, but spend the time studying in whatever way you study and grow and be that thing. But when it comes to just life in general, I do believe being a jack of all trades, master of none, applies to some areas that I think are beneficial to everybody. But I truly think that I would like to be Renaissance man. So it says master of none with the jack of all trades thing, right? You could be a master of one. You could be a master of one thing. A lot of people choose this as a career and say, like, I'm a plumber. I'm good at plumbing. I'm a master at plumbing. I know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about carpentry. Or you can say, I'm a jack of all trades in these 7 different areas, but I am a master at plumbing. That is not a Renaissance man. That is someone who knows a little bit about a bunch of things and knows a lot about one thing. And I think a Renaissance man is a master of a handful of things, usually things that complement each other. So we get the term from the Renaissance. I think specifically this came about in Italy. That was when where the term was coined, if you will, from those that were participating in the Renaissance, like revolutions in art and science and math and philosophy and these great thinkers of the time. But a lot of them, I mean, if you think about Da Vinci, he was known for not just art, but like things like inventing stuff. Like he thought about planes before the people did, really, and had diagrams drawn up, and was into things like astronomy and it was just crazy stuff. I don't know how much those sciences and arts relate and complement each other, but I think nowadays when we think of a Renaissance man, we think of like Donald Glover would be a Renaissance man, one that I he gives me a lot of inspiration. So I came across. I'm just going to talk about Donald Glover for a bit because he's amazing. And if you don't know who I'm talking about right now, you can look him up while you're listening or watching. But I'm also just going to tell you because there's some things I think you will recognize him from. So I came across Derek Comedy on YouTube. And they're just kind of sketches, comedy sketches. And him and his buddies were Derek Comedy. And there were some things that I found funny. And then I had a coworker at the time who showed me Childish Gambino. And at that time, Free P had come out, and it wasn't really for me. Then a little later on, I was watching YouTube. Watsky was kind of a big deal at the time. And then there was someone, I don't remember what channel it was, but they were interviewing someone, and it was Donald Glover. They were interviewing Donald Glover, or Childish Gambino, and he was talking about, I'd love to do a freestyle battle with Watsky. And I was like, wait a second, is this the guy that my friend, like, he introduced me to, and I didn't like it at the time? Let me check it out again. By that time, I think Camp had come out, and I was into it. I was good. A Bonfire, like, let's go. I was into it, and I really enjoyed his music. Free P, I really enjoy. Camp, I really enjoy. Because the Internet, I really enjoy. There's a couple mixtapes in there, like Royalty. There's some singles, Centipede, and there's some other things that I enjoy in that era. After, because the Internet, it kind of falls off for me a bit. Wasn't into Stone Mountain at all. Kauai was nice. Anyway, there's a bunch of music that I really, really liked. Also, he was acting as Troy on Community. He helped write 30 Rock. He was a writer on the show 30 Rock. I never watched that show. Now he's, directing Atlanta. He's writing, directing, whatever. He is Atlanta. He's the creator of the show Atlanta. So he does a lot of things. We're talking about, he did stand-up comedy too. One of my favorite stand-up specials is one of his. What is it called? Freak? I think so. I think it's called Freak. But I might be wrong. I don't remember now. But yeah, writing on shows, acting on shows, comedian, musician. He I believe fits the definition of Renaissance man. He does a handful of things. They also happen to be pretty complementary, and he does them extremely well. He's a master at these things. He's not dabbling. He's a master of many things. You could just say he's a master at being an artist, right? I believe that would apply, because he produced beats as well, and they're good. So, this is something that I aspire to, not in the same areas as him, but as an artist, that is how I would like to be a Renaissance man. I would like to be a master at multiple things. Visual art is one of them. Not every single type of visual art, right? I would like to get better at drawing and doing portraits and things like that. I love abstracts and the amount of hours that I've put into them already. There's the whole 10,000 hours thing to become a master at something. I don't know if I've done 10,000 hours. I can't tell, but I am very confident in my abstract work. I know how to resolve a piece, and I keep growing and learning new things in that area. That's another thing that I think really defines a Renaissance man, is someone who wants to grow, someone who is into continual growth and learning and being a lifelong learner, educating themselves on things, and just that is something that I think you need as a Renaissance man, to prioritize that. So, as it applies to me, as a painter, I would like to be better. I would like to, if I was a full-time artist, I believe I just would be a Renaissance man. I'm getting into writing different stuff now than I used to. I was writing a lot of poetry. I like taking photographs as well. I was involved with music. I would like to be again, but that's demanding of my time, and I just can't do it all without being short of never sleeping or burning out and being not a good human or not having personal relationships at all. And that's not what I want. So, yeah, if I could be involved with music again, I think that would help. I just like to add to that Renaissance man aspect. That is one of my weaker areas, but not weak enough. Like, I believe that there's a strength there, there's a desire to learn and grow, and that there's enough skill that I've built there, and again, the desire to do more with it. So that's the dream, that's living the dream for me. To be able to do all those things, to have the time and space to explore those different things. Again, with writing, I'm finding that, like, when I get into a place, I want to just do that. I want to just write, but without enough consistency. And I need to make the time, and I know that I can make the time for that. But that's the thing: visual art, writing, music, those three things. And within visual art, there's like a scope, because I mean, photography is visual art as well, and painting and drawing. Like, I would love to just, and digital art too. I would like to get better at that. But I want. That's what I want. That's just me saying what I want, and me talking about being a Renaissance man. And yes, that sound. I don't. It shouldn't sound pretentious. I don't like to say that, hey, I've invested time into my interests, and I would like to keep exploring my interests. I would like to continue to grow in those areas of study, those fields of study, those disciplines. I would really like to continue to push forward and be great at those things. Why is that so arrogant or pretentious to say? I have spent time to get myself to a place in those areas where I feel a certain amount of confidence. I've invested my mental abilities and my time, right? My energy into getting better in those areas, and feel confident enough that I could be a master in those areas, that I could be great in those areas, given enough time. And that's not just time on earth and available time to do it, but I have to invest the time doing it in the right way and push myself when I do have time to do those things. And I guess this is just another push for me, just talking about it, of like, I know that writing is something I want to fit into my schedule. I do. I want to fit that in there on a daily. I would like to. Ideally, I would rotate between these things, or if I had time, like if I did not have to work and could make being an artist my full-time job, there's a possibility I could do all those three things in one day, every day. Or sometimes maybe they would fluctuate, and I would spend more time on visual art for a couple weeks or months preparing for an exhibition, and then when that's done, maybe I'd focus more on music again, and then maybe put out an album, and then and just go back and forth between the two, or write a novel. I don't know. I'm at the point where writing, I'm not sure if I'm a good writer. Straight up, I don't know. I know that in the aspects that I'm writing, fiction specifically, I think that there are some things that I'm learning that I can write very well, and I'm trying to work that into fiction writing. I like the poetry that I've written. I like what I can do. I know that there's there's a seed there, there's capability there. I've watered that, it's grown a bit, and I would like to continue to do that. I need the time to do that. I want the time to do that. That to me would be just, that would be amazing. That would be that's what I would be doing in retirement. One of the questions that I asked me, what will you do in retirement? And that's what I would be doing. I mean, reading is part of it. Taking in media is part of it. Traveling, getting experiences, that would be part of it. Spending time with family, friends, that would be a part of it. Taking the dog for a walk, mountain biking, whatever, that's a part of it. But that's taking in life, but I'd also be expressing, right? That's what I want to do, is have the time to invest my energy in all these different areas